Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome today as I will be going over my division by division state football predictions for the state of Wisconsin today. Hope you guys are having a great day. It's Friday afternoon, day of round one of the football playoffs for WIAA, and I'm going to go all 7 divisions. 8-player I do not know enough about to do. Not even gonna, it's not that I don't like 8-player, just I don't know enough about it. But as I get probably past three or four, I'm probably going to start to know less. I had to do a little bit more research on those divisions. Anyways, let's get right into it today. So in Division 1, I'm going to take Muskego in Division 1. I'm going to give you guys some reasons why. I'm going to give you some roadblocks about the coach when they were last in state, about that. So Muskego, for example, here's why I'm taking Muskego. First of all, let's look at the bracket. I'm not going to put the bracket on here so you guys can look at it yourself. For my roadblocks for them, I got to put Franklin on there. Franklin has developed a lot this year. Franklin could beat Muskego. I'm not going to lie. I think they have a good shot. And this whole prediction for me is ruined if Franklin wins. So I'm not going to be mad about it. I'm just thinking Franklin's got a 50-50 shot to win this game. They do. They could have been the 1 seed as well. So that's what I'm thinking here. Franklin could beat them, and it could be Franklin over Kimberly in the state championship. Sussex Hamilton's my other roadblock. They are such a good passing team. Muskego hasn't seen them yet. Not being in the same conference, didn't play in a non-conference game. So the only way they've probably seen Sussex Hamilton is on film. So that's what I'm thinking. But the last time Muskego was in the state championship, they won both times. As of recent, they beat Bayport in 2019. 2018, they beat Kimberly. So Muskego versus Kimberly will be a rematch of 2018 state championship. Fun fact for you guys right there. All right, let's move to Division 2 now. Speaking of that, head coach is Ken Krause at Muskego, very successful coach over there that they have at Muskego High School. That's why they are dominant pretty much every year. And they usually do have pretty high levels of talent there as well. So let's head over to Division 2 now for sure. So now we're going to do Kettle Moraine. Kettle Moraine's my pick in Division 2. They're going to go back-to-back this year. They beat West Appear last year in the state championship. That's their most recent state championship appearance. Let's just say this, though. I'm going to look at Division 2 right now. My only roadblock for them, I think, is Lake Geneva Badger. Matt Hensler's team is actually pretty good. They went 9-0 this year, just like the Lasers. Because looking at the upper top of this bracket, you got Milwaukee King as the number 1 seed. And then Sun Prairie East, number 2. Kettle Moraine beat number 2 Sun Prairie East last year in the playoffs. So that's why I like Kettle Moraine's chances. Unless Badger can come in to Kettle Moraine, that would be round 3 and take them down. Kettle Moraine beat that tough Muskego team last week. That's why I don't know. And then I got Kettle Moraine beating Waunakee. Waunakee's going to have to defeat a tough Kaukauna team who beat Kimberly this year. So it's going to be interesting, I think, in Division 2. Jonathan Sobiak has done a good job taking over for Chase Spellman after Chase Spellman left for IMG Academy, one of the nation's top football programs. That's why I like Kettle Moraine's chances. I really do. So their only roadblock, I think, is 9-0 is Badger. And the head coach, they're coached by a very young coach, Matt McDonald, who's been very successful the last 2 years. All right. Now let's move on to Division 3. I'm going to take Port Washington. As of right now, I'm sorry, I kind of got distracted while doing their research, but I didn't put any appearances for their last probably 10 years. If they had a state championship appearance, let me know. I'm sorry if I left that off, but I put NA for that for their last appearance. They won their first East Central Championship conference since 2020 this year. And they beat Plymouth, who was a really good team up there this year. I think their roadblocks are going to be Plymouth once again. They're going to have to play Plymouth a second time. But then they're going to have to face the Division 3 champions of last year, Monroe, just to get to state. And Rice Lake, let's look on the brackets here. Rice Lake, they got to get from Medford on their side of the bracket, and then they got to get through Notre Dame Academy in Green Bay as well. Notre Dame Academy's had a rich experience of getting to state a while back. They also got to beat Mount Horeb Barneveld. So Mount Horeb Barneveld could maybe get there too as well. They've been really good this year as well. 1-seeded team there in Division 3. On Monroe's side, I think Monroe plays Port Washington because I I think I'm going to take, you guys might call me crazy for this, but I think I'm going to take Waterford to play Monroe. Because Greendale, don't get me wrong, they were good this year, but that first game season loss to Badger did not rub me the right way, losing, what was it, 38-0. And they haven't, I mean, their conference is good, don't get me wrong. Greenfield was an improved team this year. Oh, man, I think I got to go Monroe playing Port Washington and Port Washington beating Monroe to get to state. That's what I think it's going to happen. And then they'll beat Plymouth the week before Monroe. All right. And they're coached by John Bunyan, who just won the Green Bay Packers Coach of the Week last week. So let's move on over to Division 4 now. Division 4, here's my best resume of all of them with the state championships for sure. So Catholic Memorial, who started out 0-2 in the season, they fell to Franklin the first game. Franklin came and upsetted them. Second game, they lost to Marquette 35-0, but they've turned things around since then. Catholic Memorial's last appearance was in 2020, 2022, 2021, 2019, 2018, 2016, 2015. Let's go through them. 2022, they lost to Columbus last year. Columbus is the defending Division 4 state champions. They beat Ellsworth in 2021. They beat Kiel in 2019, not counting anything in 2020 because there's no state championships that year. 2018, they beat West Superior. 2016, they beat Notre Dame. 2015, they lost to Notre Dame. So Notre Dame, like I said, had the dominance in the past a few years ago. And some of their roadblocks, I think, are Platteville and Two Rivers. Platteville was a pretty good team out in the western region of the state this year. And Two Rivers has played well this year. I don't know much about them. That's why I'm not going to try to talk much about them because I'm not from the area Two Rivers is in, but I think Two Rivers pretty good. I have to do more research on them though. All right. And then they have Bill Young as their head coach, who is the number 19th winningest coach in the nation. That's according to the latest Max Preps at the beginning of the year. It might be 18 now or 17. Who knows? All right. Now we're going to go to Division 5. Let me get Division 5's bracket up on here so I can tell you some things here. So I have Columbus winning Division 5 over Colby. So let's scroll down here. Colby is the number 1 seed at the very top of the bracket, and Columbus is number 3. So I have Columbus winning state as a number 3 seed. They play Broadhead Judah tonight. They'll have to face a tough Aquinas team. That's one of the teams on my roadblocks. Let's see here. I have a note about Aquinas. They beat Mayville in state championship in 2022, so they're defending Division 5 seed. Division 5 or 6. It's so wait. Hang on there. Anyways, Division 5. I think they're Division 5 or 6 last year. Were they one of the teams that moved up a division? I'm not 100% sure. I think they won 5 because Columbus was in 4. Columbus won in 4 last year. Speaking of that, I was going to go to that. They went 14-0 last year. I think they were the only undefeated team in the state last year. Number 3 seed this year. Their last appearance was a win over Catholic Memorial in D3. And here's a quick turnaround fact about Columbus. They missed the playoffs in 2017 and 18, and they turned it around a few years later and got to the state and won. It's pretty good, if you ask me. All right. So then their head coach is Andrew Selgrad. Prairie du Chien in round 2. Let's see. Is that right? Yeah. So they'll have to play a tough Prairie du Chien team in round 2. I think they narrowly beat and get to round 3, and that's when I think their ride starts going. That's what I think is going to happen there for Columbus. Sorry for all those pauses. I just had to read over some of my notes that I took for this show. All right, Division 6 now. So I'm taking Kenosha St. Joseph over Stratford. Stratford Tigers, a very good team. They could beat Kenosha St. Joseph's too. St. Joseph, they could beat them. Number 2, Stratford. They're both on the bottom of the bracket, both number 2 seeds I have getting the state. So they got to get through Auburndale. If Auburndale gets that far, the number 1 seed in that region, and they have to get through Grantsburg. I can see both happening. I really can. I think it will happen. And they got to get through Abbotsford. If Abbotsford versus Grantsburg, that could be a good matchup. Grantsburg versus Cameron, that could be a good matchup. You name it in round 3 there. I still think Stratford gets out of it to the state qualifier. Close to St. Joseph, I think they get through to state. They have to meet a tough Kewanee team just to get to state, though, and they have to play their #1 team in their group, who's Darlington right now. So the roadblocks for me are Aquinas, Winnebago. No, wait, that's Division 5. Sorry. Roadblocks are Darlington, Kewanee, St. Mary Springs. In the other region, they're the 2 seed. St. Mary Springs has had the rich history. They've won 9 state championships, I think the most in the state of Wisconsin. So that's why they're always a tough team to beat out. And their head coach, I think, is the #4 most winningest coach in the nation. Head coach is Matt Rizzo of Kenosha St. Joseph. Finally, it's had the Division 7. Division 7 is the Edgar Wildcats. They're the #2 seed right now. Their last appearance was in 2019 to state. In 2018, both losses to Blackhawk Warren, Illinois. The roadblocks for me are Boiseville, who's the #1 seed, Cashton, Pep, and Almna, who's in the other region. And I forgot to mention, Edgar won the state championship in 2016 in D7, like they are now, over Schulzberg. They are head coached by Jerry Sins, the 7th most winningest coach in the country, according to Max Preps. That was the beginning of the year. But with the season they've had, he's probably 6 now, or maybe still 7. I highly doubt that he went down in that ranking. Those were all wrote, I think, on August 1st. But here's a fun fact to notice about Edgar. They have not given up a point on defense since August 25th. Just think about that. I mean, although people will argue that the talent hasn't been the best for them. Well, they haven't played the best team every week. They've met a few good teams, though. Don't get me wrong. They haven't played the best team all week. Their conference isn't the best. Everyone's going to argue that with me. Oh, yeah, well, what are you supposed to do with the defense? But like I said, domination carries on a defense. I think this will carry for Edgar to get in the state championship and beat Petoskey-Cassville. Petoskey-Cassville on the mean side, I got the wrong division up here. Wait a minute. Here. I had to change it. Crap. Wait, right? Where's Edgar? Never mind. I don't have to change it because I thought those two were on the same side of the bracket at first. I was like, wait a minute. They both can't get to state and beat each other. Yeah. So, no. Edgar will beat Petoskey-Cassville. Sorry, I didn't do that good of planning for this. I think that'll happen, yes. Okay, so they're on the #1 side. Okay, so there we go. So yeah, that's right. I thought I took 2 teams from the same side of the region at first. I'm like, how could I have made that mistake? Anyway, some key facts to point out. I'm gonna go back to Division 2 real quick. For Kellamarine's resume with Waunakee. I forgot to mention here though, Waunakee's head coach is 47th in their nation ranked as a head coach. Pat Rice. So it's going to be a tough one for Kellamarian if he gets there because he knows how to win. He has 7 state championships. So the resume's there. Matt McDonald has 1, but his was last year. So he knows how to win too. And I think he won the state championship, Matt McDonald, with 3 losses last year. So they turn it around, Kellamarian. I think they were, 1-2 at one point last year? I mean, they really turn it around as a team. So those are going to do it for my predictions, ladies and gentlemen. I like these predictions. I'm going to stick with them, and I'm not going to change them if somebody loses because I'll be like, well, I didn't predict right, whatever. So I hope everyone has a good day. Good luck to your team in the playoffs, and I'll see you guys. I'll be at Camp Randall November 16th, 17th. We are covering the Max Preps Radio, the Milwaukee area teams. It's where we're based. So whoever gets there from the Milwaukee area, all 7 divisions, I think, are all probably going to be the higher divisions, though, most likely. So the Friday games. Division 2 and 1, I think we're going to have no matter what. Anyways, have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us.